Welcome. We are finally here in the new Perspective Junkies podcast, and we are in the intellection section. Section. And I am your host, Vontae Swank, the man of mental health.
I am C Swank, otherwise known as Cody, otherwise known as the man with the plan, the man that understands, in Captain Controversy.
And virtually we have who?
KB knows most. You already know.
So, it's been a long time coming. We've been building up on this, and we're excited to embark on this adventure. We hope to, further everyone's perspective that comes to listen to our podcast, and we hope to further our perspective as well. So it's going to be real interesting. And today we got a topic already. Captain Controversy has something to say about it. And that topic it's about something that we saw on Twitter. A little baby shower.
Let me give you guys the specifics. Let me get into the background of that. Okay, so apparently someone posed the question, what would you do if your daughter was invited to a 13-year-old's baby shower?
That's sweet.
Now, before we get into it, let's set some ground rules. I know people like to create the perfect specific situation where it's like, oh, that's different.
It's okay. Yeah, it's all right.
One, let's assume it is consensual. I know everybody's gonna be like, you never know what could have been. Oh, okay. Two, let's assume your daughter is the same age as that person.
Let's pause first. If it wasn't consensual, do you think there would be a baby shower still?
That I assume that.
How would that work?
I assume that. But if you argue against it, people would say, but you never know. To me, I'm like the baby shower, the nature of it suggests that it is consensual, that it's okay. However, you never know. Some people would say they're too young to even make that decision. I'm like, okay, well, I guess if you're framing it that way, but I just want to put it out there. I responded a clear and obvious hell no. The reason being is because I believe that the tolerance of certain actions or certain behaviors or certain celebrations suggests that you think it's okay, and once you put that that energy into the world, the community, your friends, the culture accepts that as a norm, a social norm. So once you say, hey, at age 13, before you can drive, before you graduate high school, before you can buy liquor, before you can enlist in the army, all these things that we would associate with an adult who can actually raise a child properly, you're celebrating your premature pregnancy. Like, this is too early, it's too soon, and now you're gonna invite my daughter, and not only did you do your thing, you invited me. Now I'm into it. I have to go and drop. She can't even go by herself. I gotta drop her off. I gotta drive and, hey, how y'all doing? We got you a little something. They drink. They having fun. What they drinking? Like sparkling cider? No one's drinking. Yeah, like everybody's just like
13 is not even high school yet.
It's not even high school yet.
It's not even 8th grade. I don't even think that's 8th grade.
It's not. Now these are some of the things when I said that some people said, why not? The first reply was, why not? Now pause. To me that's crazy. I'm like, what do you mean why not? Why? Give me reasons why. And then they say, it's a regular thing. If she's already having the baby, why would you not allow your daughter to support if they're friends? And my thing is, I don't believe you should always support everything. I don't think you, as a parent, you should allow your kid to support everything. It's almost to me like if a kid was 13 and was stealing cars, and he comes back and they have like a welcome back party. A welcome back party for a 13-year-old? This is not a grown man who went and did hard time, and even then it's kind of, but a little kid? No, we're not doing a welcome back party. I'm not engaging in that activity. I'm not supporting it. Like, it doesn't mean I hate you. It doesn't mean that our kids can't associate at all. It just means I'm not even going to normalize that in my household and amongst my family. So,
and that's a big word today, normalize. If you letting your 13-year-old attend baby showers before like a birthday party, that's
so it's a hell no for you too, Kenzie. Is that what I'm getting?
Hell no, I can't. I want to hear what you got to say, Monty. I feel like you're letting them go.
I have to do some pushback. gotta, you know what I'm saying, put the other perspective on that one. Okay, for one, that's a valid point. If they're friends, she should be there to support her friend. But, you know, beside the point of that, my thing is, if you plan to raise someone who can pick out and decipher what is good for them and what's not, then it might be even more of a learning lesson for her to go and see that baby shower and see the responsibility that's about to be on that little 13-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. I got one question.
Okay.
Cody, did you say it was your daughter got invited or your son got invited?
My daughter.
He didn't say that.
The tweet said daughter.
Your daughter get invited, it's different. If the son get invited, you know, a daughter might be like, oh,
that's interesting.
I'm
the same. My answer is continuous. Like,
the
no.
son is like, oh, you getting pussy already?
As a reply to what Devontae said, to me, that would be very appropriate if the baby shower was held for a person who was 16. 16 is already, you're more mature. You can get a permit. You can drive around. You might have a job. This is just that 3-year difference puts you in a whole different mindset. Because to me, sex isn't taboo at age 16. There's high school. We assume that there's a decent amount of teenagers who are engaging in sex. At age 13, that is before a lot of kids are getting into Algebra 1. People don't know Algebra 1. They're not, you know what I'm saying? They're not very aware of some basic factors of politics and everything.
Age 13, you're still walking in lines going to class.
That's what I'm saying. Age 13, people are still wearing like bright colored socks and twinning on random days. Like, it's too early even for people to, I think, make the, you know, you are gonna have intelligent kids, but I wouldn't say that that's the age that they're gonna be like, man, I really get the lesson. I think at age 13, a lot of kids, you would hope that your kid is that intelligent to perceive that, but I think a lot of kids would just be like,
yeah, I definitely hate to be biased,
like,
so you
sexist, but you know, for my son, I'm like, yeah, you go ahead and go. He gonna look at this like, oh, I like all this stuff. My daughter, she might enjoy it too much. It might scare me a little bit.
What if it's just like a hectic feeling that she gets from it? You know what I'm saying? Like, successful, like a lot of baby showers are slick, kind of stressful for the baby mother, slick, like, because they're worried about who's coming and they got these extra emotions on top of it.
But she 13, Vontae. So
and you think of this isn't the girl that's pregnant.
You're right.
It's the friend. It's your daughter.
All fun and dandy. They might just be in there lit like a little kid party. They might forget that they celebrate a child on the way. They're just.
So y'all think the effect would be, I want a baby shower too. Like, that's what y'all thinking the effect would be, like, coming from that?
Yeah.
No, and I think people make that jump sometimes too. Like, you think that by saying that it's normalized, you're saying that that people automatically are influenced to, like, let's engage in that behavior. No, what I'm saying is more so that feeling of like, I messed up, oh my gosh, is minimized to a degree when we doing that. It's like, if I always like to give examples with sports. On a basketball team, if you cuss out the coach and you're allowed to play, or you're allowed to continue playing, you're not necessarily making regular kids who are well behaved, who wouldn't do that, be like, oh, I want to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
However, you are, if it ever goes there, it's a little more normal. I've seen it before, and we've bounced back past this. Now, if you go and kick them off the team, anybody who even had an idea is kind of like, I can't. Like, and then people who are already, we're not going to do it anyway, we're like, I super can't. Because you've normalized that is crazy. That is past the line. Yeah. We have to have for us, I would say the age is, I think that it would be better for the culture for everybody to strive to probably shoot like 25 almost. And that's crazy. Some people, they might be like, that's kind of old, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But definitely 18 is a goal. Right. That could be that could be one goal, and then, after that, I would say maybe after you get into some type of career or some type of way where you're making consistent money, which is usually for anybody who goes to college. After 21, 22, that's a good goal. And then I'd also say, to add another aspect, if you could find a stable relationship with a partner and probably get married, that would be the ideal, pattern. But for me to say, I believe that I suggest for most people, wait till you're 25, even if you think you're ready. For me to normalize or to say it's cool for my daughter to go one that failed by 12 years. Not 2, not 3, not 5. 12 years. 13.
Okay. So let's reverse this question.
Some girls haven't had their periods yet. 13.
She's moving quick.
Some guys haven't kissed yet.
She's got to be ready to breastfeed. So like we're gonna have to whip them things out. So,
right.
But all right. So let's reverse this question. Let's say your daughter was the 13-year-old that was pregnant. So are you having a baby shower, or you not even celebrating because you don't want to normalize it? Is that what you're saying?
Not even celebrating it. It wouldn't even cross my mind. It's like, gosh. Like, and I know some people are like, oh yeah, we should. I'm like, not at all. I wouldn't send out cards. I wouldn't. I call y'all. I call my brothers. Like, yeah, you know, hey, things happen. We gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying? We
It
gonna
sound like
probably
that baby is in a basket getting left at the fire station.
I messed up big time. What's the Medea movie where Bow Wow was growing up with his sister, but it's really his mom? That might happen like this.
Kenzie, what would be your plan of action? You find out your daughter is pregnant at 13. How would you respond?
Man, that's scary. I know I messed up as a parent if my daughter get pregnant at not 16, 13. At 13? How, bro? 13.
What if the baby daddy wasn't really like ignorant? He just was a goofy dude that slipped up, but he's actually pretty on track. Would that affect?
But listen to that though. Slipping up at 13.
Yeah.
that would really that would hurt me, but I'm definitely not. It'll be a whole family thing. I'm not on that No, Cody, I probably would allow her to invite her closest friends, but it's not.
Her closest friends to do what exactly? Like, what are you calling this
I know
gathering?
for a fact the women in my family would want to throw a baby shower for her. The women in my family would want that, and I wouldn't deny that.
Your folks is not gonna go for that.
I wouldn't deny that.
I don't know if they're
I
my
see you in
family.
there
I don't think they'd be like, yeah, we gotta get. I can't imagine my mom like, all right, cool. So, do you want me to set up the? I just don't know where the conversation. Because for me, the only options is have it, and then it's gonna be me and your mom's baby. Essentially, go ahead and finish up high school, college, live a regular life. Don't even act like you're. I wouldn't even be like, oh yeah, you gotta assume responsibility, and that's not my. Or if she's like, hey, I don't want to have it, then when you take that route. But I wouldn't even be like I would never encourage her to, at that age, at that young, where you cannot. You can't really provide for it. You can't. You don't even know enough about the world. I feel like
exactly
to properly give wisdom. So I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, we're gonna nothing formal, nothing that brings attention, none of that. Like just have.
Should you even give that option of abortion? Because is she even old enough to even know how big that decision is at 13 years old? That's like.
I'd say the decision of having it is equally as big.
Yes, you're right. It's 50-50. I don't know. That's a sticky situation. I just know in my future, I'm not slipping up as a father. I'm not pregnant at 13.
This nigga Kenzie gonna pull out for the nigga. How you gonna stop that, man? You can't really. You gotta just really try hard to really raise the angel, but it can happen. I'm sure.
At 13, no.
I'm saying, okay, let's think about this on where the society is moving right now. And I'm pretty sure that the numbers is less high school and middle school babies, but the fact that everybody has access to see how to have sex, like you can go on Twitter, it's easy. And you're like, try to figure out how we can put the man with the
some ass on accident too. You gonna hear something.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's why I think a healthy amount of shaming good in any society. And people are like, that's so crazy. I'm like, no, a healthy amount of shaming is good. We get to the point where everything just
it sounds nice when he don't put the slut in front of it.
What?
It's
like that Chris Rock stand up when he said like he took his daughter to his private school. They was like, we don't got bullies, we don't got nothing, we don't got this. He was like, what? She can't go here. She needs all of that. She needs to get bullied. She needs to get. You're right. They need to get shamed. All that. My son come with a weak fit. He needs to get joned. He needs to know. Like
that's what creates the character.
I was just having that discussion today. Like I was like, I wouldn't mind homeschooling my kids just so that I can control their education. But it's just like a pivotal social experience to really
taking a lot of things from them.
When you homeschool, what people don't know is that studies show that you have an 87% higher chance of raising a dork. It's off the it's impossible to simulate. Like, you need the pressure. You need to know what you're built for. I think within elementary, within middle school, within high school, crucial factors that are not textbook related are A, how attractive does the world perceive me? It's important you find that out. I've ran into girls plenty of times who maybe they're the minority amount of black girls at a white school. So they don't know, like, you're like super fine in the black community, or you don't know you're not that fine in the black community. You just had no other competition, or you didn't have enough fans. This will give you a weird, now this girl is dating way below her level, or she's shooting for the stars. And we're like, yo, you need to bring it down from 6'4" to 5'11". You might want to bring it down from quarterback to defensive end. You might want to bring, like, everything is changed off that too. It's important to know your physical level of defense and how much you can deal with confrontation. There's a lot of guys who don't. If you're not in a locker room setting where there is no coach, where you can get slapped and people gonna see how you respond. This is a good time for you to figure out, I think I'm gonna speak up for myself more. Like, I'm gonna crack more jokes. I'm gonna be more of a joke guy in the world. If you don't know that and you just enter at age 18, it's a scary world to find out there are people who are still physically too imposing for me to be talking like this. Like, I'm not built for this. 3, you need to figure out fashion. You need to figure out if you're going to be a person that's fashion forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people are the type, I make the trend. I rock the new thing. I'm not scared of that. Some people are like, I fear people teasing me, so I go for it. I'd rather rock a white tee than a polka dot. You know what I'm saying? I'm scared of people being like, oh, you look like, and that's your decision. Like, it's things like that cannot be taught by a mom or a dad. You have to feel it. You have to go out there on the bus, in the field, and you gotta feel like this is how the world is, and it shapes your character. And I believe homeschool, I'm like, there's no way that you can simulate that.
Them bus rides, like in the morning before school, let you know if you pick the right fit, boy. On them bus rides, you already know.
It's really that walk down the aisle. It's like a kind of immediate, like,
people start chuckling.
Like, hold on, wait till you get to the back, and then always somebody standing up, like, to this seat, like, this nigga.
On the window, like, nigga, what?
Right.
One time I had like a yellow and black like jacket that was so
loud. The game
loud.
even start yet. You on the school bus, and you already know you made a horrible decision. Like, you knew you woke up, got ready too fast. You just like,
I used to hate sweating out my pits on my t-shirt early today, like 8:37. I'm like, oh my god, it is a long day. I'm like, what am I gonna do? I can't answer no questions. I can't do no dances, nothing.
See, I was really blessed to not sweat too much because I had a gym first period. And there was a lot of niggas who wasn't making it through the day.
And the thing is, dudes knew that and were not adjusting. Right. They were literally playing like outside tackle football. Like, first period.
Don't change the clothes.
First period, they didn't want to tell people secrets every day. Like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, hugging people like, give me a hug. Yo, can I get a hug? No, you did not. You smelled bad, bro. Like,
some people wanted it so bad, like, even if they didn't have the dress out clothes, they're like, fuck it, I gotta hoop.
Yeah, like, little kids can't take that, like, bro, they are having the best game of my life.
You can't pass up the chance of playing basketball. It don't matter what day it is. They bring the balls out, you like, oh, shit.
Right, because all the white peas teachers, they'll be like, yeah, we gonna hoop the first day of class and the last day. I'm like, why is this sport not an everyday thing? Every black school is just like rolling the balls out. Girls are walking on the side doing silly stuff. There's always that boring coach. It's like, no, we're gonna stick to the schedule. Today we're gonna do table tennis or something like that.
Hey, that was the dumbest. I never understood why table tennis. They're literally bringing out ping pong tables to the basketball court, bro. That was so
You're
stupid.
gonna learn some other sports.
You're gonna need this.
So overall, we pulled from this conversation that it's a hell no for for y'all, right?
You didn't say what yours was.
On the baby shower?
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I trust my daughter to be next level with it, and so like I just got that much faith that I'm gonna let her go, and I'm like, all right, so what you think about that? You ready for that? Like,
Yeah,
you really want
it's
to do
gonna be
that?
a big discussion after she get back.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a breakdown discussion. Like, all right, that was a lot. You can take that on right now. Like, so that means you don't need to be messing around with these little boys.
She gonna come home and be like, yeah, it was a lot. But luckily, now I know that if I have a good group of friends, I can get to the mom's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna be on the phone like, yeah, I know. Because little girls are not. I'm telling you, I'm just like, you gotta think about 8th grade you, how easily influenced, like, and I'm saying we're above average intelligence, above average, like, but I'm like, I was really like, dog, I cannot see jerking ever ending.
You talking about jerking?
I'm like, new boys, these guys are on.
No. When I first, it was like my first or second. It was my first week of high school, and they literally had like a jerk line. Did you see that? You remember that?
Yeah.
It was a jerk crowd like outside, like in the little courtyard area. Like there was a whole crowd of people jerking. And I'm like, oh,
high school is crazy. Like the way it started in the morning, it was a little crowd, and I remember I'm like, now these guys have got it figured out. Like, and I just.
Stuff the art is real, like
right, like it made it so much more realistic because they were really bringing that energy. Like,
look, y'all know I can't dance, but in 7th grade I could jerk and I could pin drop. I had strong enough ankles. I was really getting into that. I was very active. I was very in that.
Were you average height or you were tall still?
I felt like I was just slightly above. Nothing like I wasn't you sure, but it was something slight. I wouldn't say I was like abnormally tall.
I'd kill to see you jerking on that, right?
Yeah,
jerking, and I wasn't doing it in skinny jeans either. It was just straight leg Levi's.
See, that's dangerous as fuck. You get caught up in the bag.
Yeah, that's tripping up.
You get caught up with the picture.
It took me a long time to accept skinny jeans. Like I really was not. I couldn't get on that wave for a good minute.
I got on that black boy, white boy swag pretty good. Like,
I was late to the Aeropostale American Eagle Hollister wave. I was definitely late. And then once I got in it, everybody was like, that's lame, bro. We back on Wiz Khalifa. We getting Jordans, dog. Everybody's like, we getting Jordans, bro. Come on, what you on? I'm like,
I got bullied into that. I got bullied at an Aeropostale into like Hollister and everything else. There was like, Aeropostale.
I knew Aeropostale. I knew Aeropostale wasn't it. I just had that vision. I just went straight to American Eagle, and that's what I stuck with, really. Because it was like
American Eagle was too expensive, and Aeropostale was too cheap. So I feel like Hollister was right there.
But it was a step below Abercrombie and Fitch, you know what I'm saying? But it was like not everybody was quite on.
People was getting 2 yellow collared shirts for $89 at those places. I'm like, I guess. I was like, this
Abercrombie and Fitch. I used to be scared to go inside that store. I did not like. I ain't like going inside Hollister or like American Eagle stuff like that because it was just in my head. I'm like, I'm forcing myself to do this. I don't even want to wear this stuff. I got to.
Right. I feel like you automatically walk out that store with like a little bop to you. Like you got like a white bop to you going down. Like you're automatically in that zone.
Yeah, you're automatically more Kid Cudi. You're more Kid Cudi than Jay-Z the moment you walk out of it.
Nothing was worse though than walking out with skinny jeans for the first time, like in front of like my aunties, and like they just ate that up. It was like, oh my god, boy, you got the little jeans on.
And I think that's what took me so long to wear them, bro. My family wasn't on that wave. It wasn't on it.
No family was on that wave.
They wasn't on that wave.
Wave.
They would be on my head about that. And you gotta understand, I went to South Paulding 4 years. So what the white people wore, I really didn't, I'm like, that don't classify for me too. Like, this shit, it ain't nothing. But
I literally felt like, you know how those girls who be wearing one outfit, and then when they finally get out, they're like, ooh, probably could take this off. Like, so they didn't want their daddy to see what they was wearing something fast. That's how it kind of felt like wearing the skinny jeans at first.
Right, yeah, the sneak out.
Let me walk out here quick.
I was really late on it though. I was late on that too. I was late on a lot of fashion trends. I can't believe I maintained a place in the social hierarchy.
He was a sturdy nigga with sticking to his stripes. He's found a way to keep the stripes in, but he was definitely on the stripe collars at all times.
You talking about Cody?
Yeah.
Cody came to South Paulding strong and business casual. Cody was not letting nobody like sway him. I don't even think it was Cody ever came to school in a pair of like just gym shorts and some sweats. It was always business casual, collared shirts. I'm looking at him like, I don't know if I can be friends with that guy. I don't think me and him got anything in common.
When you guys bring up the memories of me in high school, it's like, oh, okay, is that how I was perceived? I'm like, damn, I'm really not doing enough. I'm like, I thought I was getting a little edgier that senior year, so I was like, cut off sweats. Yeah. I was like, yeah, it's time. With one t-shirt, I'll dial it back tomorrow and we'll throw a collar shirt on.
Yeah, when I started throwing sweats into the rotation in high school, it kind of changed things. Cut off sweats was cool though. I loved that time.
Right.
You see, I feel like I started adopting running shoes and started buying more Nike stuff, and I felt like that was more acceptable than just like, you know, just wearing some like Foot Locker brand shorts with nothing on it. They were like, hey, you kind of bummy, bro. And then you start like bringing a Nike fit together. They're like, I guess that's all right. I guess that's cool.
You went hard with that and never stopped. You are currently doing that.
Currently, yeah, still stronger.
You don't like Adidas, right?
I do like Adidas. It's just I feel like I went so hard with Nike and Jordan. It's kind of hard to even want to start building up with Adidas because one of my pet peeves, I don't want to see you wear Nike and Adidas. I don't like seeing unless you in like the Adidas joggers. I feel like they go with everything. Adidas joggers are fine.
Man, you sponsored by Nike, goddamn.
I wish.
Kenzie, you really have the style. Like you could do every athletic style. Like you could do CrossFit, baseball, like all them different sporting kind of styles that have Nike with it.
That does fit you.
No socks.
It does fit you. I'm telling y'all, man. I feel like y'all gonna accept it later on in y'all dadhood when y'all at y'all son's games and stuff, like sitting in the sun. You like, yeah, I see why Kenzie wears this all the time. Like, you know, throw you on some short shorts, some running shoes, and you're gonna be cozy for the whole day.
That's definitely where I plan to go with it.
Cody gonna have on that one piece.
Cody going with the male romper.
The rubber.
Oh. Y'all still against that? I'm telling you, it's gonna come in the right way.
I was saying, now it's like you didn't really believe it because you had some years to really put it into effect.
He did.
Y'all acting like male rompers are just being sold on it on every platform. Like you gotta find it, and you gotta find that tight line between it being too feminine. Just like in the 90s, there's biker shorts. Dudes wearing Eddie Murphy was like that, and I'm sure it was a fashionable thing with sneakers and some thick socks. But if you looked up
biker shorts,
yeah, dudes wore those too.
Biker shorts with the loose shorts over.
Compression shorts.
You said what?
Compression shorts.
I think they call it biker for me.
I know they call
Eddie Murphy wears it in like a famous movie. I'm trying to remember.
Saying, you talking about with the loose shorts over, like some shorter loose shorts?
No,
over.
they are wearing the. They're just wearing
like the joints that's gripping the balls and everything.
Yeah, like they're wearing that.
Talking about like a track, like what you
want, like track stuff. Yeah, like some type
compression shorts, like fit like that.
Yeah,
bro, I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen nobody outside.
Nah, it was definitely beyond our years. It's like an 80s, 90s.
I feel like Kenzie, you slick most likely to pull that off.
Right.
I would never.
You would have. It would be like you wearing. It's like Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince might have had an episode where he wear it. It's like a thick white socks, some classy Jordans, a big baggy t-shirt, chain, snapback with them. That's an athletic, tall little fit that I could definitely.
That's
see
not
doing.
no athletic. He's with biker shorts, right?
you think you gonna have it tucked in, so everybody like, damn, look at this man's ass. Like that's what you think they gonna be saying? Like, no, bro, you gonna have it. You would probably get something with purple with a Nike check. Something would be like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what you thinking. They go like, it's not what it is now, bro. You gotta adjust your time.
I like wearing short shorts. Like I wear, not too short, but I wear some short shorts. But
I'm saying, but that was gay to people who were in 2003. They were like, yo, this guy, who is this guy? And if that was able to make a little leap, you know what I'm saying? Like fashion goes up and down. That's all I'm saying. Like
biker shorts though.
Kenzie be wearing booty shorts to work.
No.
He's like, yeah, they are kind of short. I can.
They'll be that short. I go to work as comfortable as I possibly can. I can't wear no pants, no nothing. Them boys will show up with just vests and tats.
I've been seeing that. I'm like, I know these white people have to be frightened.
And terrified. I'm like, when y'all pulling up on people with vests and tats and our mask on, y'all gonna it's very risky.
Yeah. But we need to wrap this episode up. And so we got a lot of chatting going on this one. I think it was a good start, fellas.
Of course, y'all tune in. I want to leave on a message.
Okay.
That I think our audience and the crowd needs to understand going into the future episodes.
Right.
A big motivation in speaking openly and having the name Perspective Junkies is that I think we have a trend in our culture where people are starting to form their friendships and alliances based off of someone agreeing or disagreeing with everything that they agree or disagree with. And I think that's a quick way to destroying the fabric of what is the American culture. Our American culture is that you can be a little different, I can be a little different, but I can understand, I can hear you and still not hate you. I can see you as still a good person, even though you have these areas where I disagree, or even if you make past mistakes. We get to the point now where you say something that someone dislikes and they're like, unfollow, block, can't talk to you, can't invite you to parties. I'm like, you get to the point where you get surrounded by only people who believe what you believe, think what you think, and you're so narrow-minded that there's no way for you to progress mentally. There's no way for you to expand your ideas. There's no way for you to relate to people who don't have the exact same experiences as you. And I think that limits your ability to empathize with others, your ability to become a better person when it comes to relationships, whether it be being a father, son, worker, employee, etc., etc. So when you listen to Perspective Junkies, you got to know this is not something where I want you to share my opinion or I want you to necessarily agree with everything I agree. I don't care or feel like I owe any human the respect to the point where I need to change my opinion with no facts, no persuasion. If you're just trying to culture shame me, like, that's not what most people believe, I'm like, all right, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't gauge the validity of an argument based off what most people believe. I would say that could almost be used as an example as why it may be right, because I don't think that most people have life figured out. So if you have an argument, you know what I'm saying, tap in, comment, speak on it, we'll say it, even ask, you might be on the show, but come from it with the actual, this is why I feel that, and this is why I think that.
So reasoning behind it. Don't say no wild shit.
Just don't be like, well, you racist. Like, come on, like, give me something. Bring a little more thought, a little more thinking with it. So yeah,
I agree. I feel like the lack of conversation now in today's times is the reason we have so many misunderstandings, because we're trying to communicate on Twitter. You can't really have great discourse like with a limited amount of characters.
It's very limited, so people can hate you from a small caption that doesn't even fully describe what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's why I really just can't wait to see all the people that want to come oppose Cody in his debates. Like they want their turn on this. It's gonna be really interesting.
I'm glad they can see that I'm not coming. I think people think I'm like, I hate you. Like, people be coming to me with like a violent, angry energy. I'm like, I'm just chopping it up. I'm not at all.
I know some people like, he wants to control women.
I'm like, that's not even the perspective I have. We might just tap into that before we even leave. Like, it's not even that. It
like
is
to manipulate. You're a manipulator.
I don't believe I want to manipulate it. I just have not observed, and I think most men haven't observed. But I think for the most part, men are nervous, dishonest dudes who are just chasing vagina to the point that they won't just tell the truth about a gazillion things. I'm like, I know I'm not the only guy thinking it already because I hang with a lot of men. But if you want to hide it, I'll go ahead and say it for you. You know?
Phrase.
You said what?
Say that phrase. Dirty Mac.
Oh,
that's one topic.
That's what dudes are doing. Like there's women who are raising topics, and I don't believe that the women who are the loudest are typically representative of the majority of women. They have their own opinions. There's such a wide array of women that even the opinions people think most women will, oh, Cody, they're gonna hate you for that. I'm like, it's a lot of women that's like, yeah, I feel you. They're just scary. You know what I'm saying? They're scary and can't talk loud, or just, I just want to go to work and just cook. I'm not trying to talk or publicly put my opinions out there because they fear that. But with me, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I believe I want to be a speaker. I want to be someone who is not chained to the thoughts of others. So it's just me practicing that. But with that, I just observed that to summarize, I would say, even if there's a momentum or an idea that, hey, women are supposed to be this or that, they're naturally going to be what they enjoy, what they are, and they're naturally going to chase men that they're attracted to. So what I'm saying in my observations, there's no way that we could say, oh, everybody wants to be independent, nobody wants to, cook and clean, if the men who was dominating and getting the most sex in the 90s are the same kind of dudes in 2000s, the same kind of dudes in 2010s. It's not like it's dudes in glasses who's just like, hey, no, it's still strong, dominant, wild, aggressive dudes. They're going to be attracted to it because it's your nature. And you have to go ahead and put what you like and just say, hey, this is what I like around that. It's the same with men. Men are still going to be attracted to girls who are just sweet and kind. They can say, oh, I like me a strong woman. Strong is in your mind and your ability to express your opinion. It's not necessarily you getting verbally loud or being offensive or being like, I don't like y'all, but any. That's what you are suggesting. That's what you think strong is. That's what you think we meant by that. That's not at all. That's strength is, can you hold the fort down when we go on tough times, and are you able to reprimand me in a way that doesn't devalue me or make me less confident in the person I am? Are you able to be a good partner? And I think that message is getting lost in the sauce, and people think anybody who talks against it, they're like, oh, you're a misogynist. And I'm like, not at all. I have good relations with a lot of
toxic words.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Toxic. We're going to get into that in probably episode 4, but that's just my spiel. That's just a little peek.
He just wanted to give y'all ladies a taste.
Right.
Yeah, we on y'all head, man. I definitely want to get into that because I feel like a lot of men and women just be on Twitter just talking. Sometimes I just scroll through and I be sick. I'm like, bro, y'all just talking out y'all ass, just what y'all want, what y'all require. Like, goofy girls really like, we're going 50-50 on a vacation? That mean we ain't doing nothing. I'm like, come on. Realistically, you know you're going to go 50-50 no matter what.
Hey, we going to hold everybody accountable on this one. Like, we calling out all of it.
Right.
But this is your host, Vontae Swank.
This is your host, Cody, a.k.a. Captain Controversy.
This is your host, Kenzie. KB knows most. Don't laugh.
Hey, and we checking out the election section, and we checking back into life. Peace.
Junkies.